everybody, Mercedes here. So this week we are mixing two things that couldn't be a video on their own. We're going to do a little channel update and a miniature tutorial. The tutorial, as you may have noticed from the title of this video, is Pokeball fingernails. What you're going to need is red, white, and black nail polish, a paper plate, a toothpick, and some clear tape, scotch tape. And then optionally we have blue nail polish and clear nail polish. So the first thing you're going to do, pull off enough tape for your 5 fingers. We'll just do it 5 at a time rather than do all 10 immediately. And then tape off halfway this. And then just, I guess, just fold the extra down. See? And then do that with the rest of your fingers. Finally, I have 4 pieces of tape. Fix that in a second. So one thing that you're going to want to note is that the corners of your fingernails, the tape, you're going to want to try to push the tape down in there with your other nails, because otherwise, well, you'll see in a minute. I'll explain it in a minute, but you just do that real quick. Okay, so there we go. You can do the Pokeballs either way up. This is going to be the first half of our Pokeball, either red or white. I'm going to be doing white because I play the Guitalele, so when I am making chords, my hand is going to be like this, so I want the Pokeballs to be the correct side up. So I'm going to grab my white here. Now we're going to do all of these with white. And the point of the tape, as you can see, is that you can go over the tape and it's not a big deal. And the corners, why we did the corners that way, make sure to push them in, is that otherwise it'll bleed underneath and then you won't have a clear line between your red and your white nail polish. These are probably going to be a little sloppier than what you guys can pull off. I'm sure yours are going to all turn out amazing. This is just kind of to show you the technique of how I do it, and then however you want to do yours is fine. Okay, so now you can wait for these to dry and put on another coat, or you can just take these off right away. I should probably let these dry and do another coat. So while we're drying here, I guess I can start talking about the update. You may have noticed that I have stopped uploading every week and have gone to every other week, or more specifically every other weekend. Saturday is usually the day I try to get the video out, but doesn't always work out that way. I realized that I was kind of I had to rush things. Since I upload on Saturday, I would have to quickly shoot something on Thursday, get it all edited by Friday, upload it on Saturday, make a thumbnail, all that stuff. Whereas if I upload every other weekend, maybe I can shoot a couple videos at once, or I have more time to come up with more ideas that are actually interesting. I have a couple of ideas for videos that I'm still planning to do. I'm not really out of ideas. If you have any ideas for me though, I'm interested. I've thought about doing a Q&A, but I don't really have many people watching. I could just ask my friends for questions, but I don't know if that's a bit weird. I'm always willing to do more tags. Maybe I could look up some artist tags or stuff like that. I've been meaning to do more art-related things. Maybe I'll do a sketchbook tour sometime, or look at some old art, although that might be really cringy for me, I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to do another layer here. Okay. So now you don't necessarily have to wait for the layer to dry in order to take the tape off, because it should come off nice and clear. Let me show you. Ta-da! There's a little bit extra there, but we'll just paint over that. Let's see. I don't know if my camera's focusing. So sometimes a little bit will get underneath the tape, and again, that's not really a problem. What we want is an edge or a lip that's tall enough so that when we put the other coat on, it can kind of bump up against it and is at the same level. See? And you have all these little like half-done nails. If you want to do more rounded Pokeballs, you can use, you know, those binder protector, they're little like sheet protector. I'll put a picture of them. They're just little rings. They're essentially circular stickers, or you could probably even use circular stickers. Just anything that's round, and then you just stick it in place of the tape. So we're done with the white for now. We're gonna put this away. Just set that aside. We're not quite done with it. We'll need it again before we're done, because as you can see, there's like this little white in the center of this Pokeball. I'm gonna do this one as a great ball actually, so I'm gonna save this one for later, and we're just gonna do these ones. You can kind of butt the brush up against the white here. Just push it to the white and then pull back. Push it down to the white and then pull up. Now since this red is probably a better brand than the white, I don't think I'm going to need to do 2 coats, but again, just kind of eyeball it. If you're not happy with how it looks, then I'll add another coat, feel free. You can see where we're going with this, can't ya? They kind of look like little pills, like Dr. Mario style pills. And once you've perfected the red Pokeballs, you can always branch out into other ones. Some of the Pokeballs that exist in the Pokemon universe are quite, like, difficult to do. The Master Ball, the M would be really difficult to do, unless you had, like, a stencil of some variety. Okay, we're gonna set the red aside. These are all gonna need to dry before we can do anything else with them. Make sure they're completely dry. So obviously the Great Ball, you just do the same way as the regular ones. Do the red, excuse me, do blue instead of red. There we go. So we've got 4 Pokeballs here and a Great Ball. And now we have to let them dry. This is important. so the next thing you're going to do is take some black, get your paper plate, and your toothpick. Splurch some black on here. Some of the black up with the edge of your toothpick. You can use a paintbrush as well, but that pretty much ruins the paintbrush. Be aware. So, get a little on the edge of a toothpick. Trying to hold it up close for you guys to see, making, whoop, except for you're not seeing it all. So you pull it up like that. Drag it along the line. It's a little messy, but that's alright. I'm sure when you guys do it, it'll look great. It's a little hard to control nail polish. It's not quite the same as like paint. You can do it without the line, the black line, but I have tried it both ways and I think the black line makes them more recognizable as Pokeballs. Alright, so now we gotta let these dry and we'll come back to this in a minute. Okay, so these have pretty much dried here. Let's see. And then we do the great ball here. This is very hard to get correct because the nail polish likes to pool and spludge in different fun ways. So you're probably not going to get a real sharp line. If you can think of a way to get a nice sharp straight line, let me know. I'd be interested. So the next step here is to do the little center bit. So as you can see, there's kind of there's a black line and then there's a black line that goes around the white. So what I do is I try to get a nice round, kind of test it on here a couple of times before you do it on your nail, a nice round little droplet sort of black. Now this brush doesn't appear to be totally round on the bottom. If you had a rounded brush it'd be easier, and that all depends on the nail polish brand, I guess. But then you just load it up, a little dot towards as close to the center as you can get. This is easier said than done. Come on. I think I'm also kind of running out of black nail polish. You're going to want it to be a pretty decent size because we're going to do the same thing with white in a minute. This one's a little messy, but what are you going to do? I ain't starting over now. The pinky is very difficult because it's so small. Like the thumb is probably the easiest one. There we go. And now these, of course, you have to let completely dry before you do anything else because otherwise you're just going to make a mess. While we're letting things dry again, as far as a little life update goes, I mostly have been using my weeks to get through school and study, and most of my days look like this. And that is all I do all day. It'll continue to be this way where I'm studying Monday through Friday until May when I graduate. And then you think, hey, after May then it's just freedom and I'll have time for all sorts of stuff, right? All sorts of video making. Go back to weekly uploads maybe. No, probably not. I'm also hoping to be starting a internship in May. I won't get too much into that either because if it doesn't happen, I don't want to have to try to take back my words. So I'm hoping to do an internship in May, and If that does happen, I'll probably still be able to continue at least my every other week upload. Maybe I'll be able to do sooner than that, but I don't know. I'll be working quite a lot. Alright, these should be dry. Now the white you can do with your toothpick, but we're going to try to do it with the edge of the white here. And then just try to put a little dot in the center. Ta-da! Whoop! Oh geez. That was a fail. So this is all you would need for your basic Pokeball fingernails. However you want to jazz it up, have fun with it. Now we have this blue here, but as you can tell from the picture, we're not quite done. We are going to use the other edge of this toothpick, get the red back out, put some red on the paper, this, and then you kind of have to set it in and roll it a little bit to get it on there. We are done! Ta-da! Now you just have to wait for these puppies to dry and do your other hand. We forgot something. This clear coat is optional, but your fingernails will be textured from doing this because as you can see, if I tip my nail to the side, the line of black, the layers of red and white, the little white dot in the middle, these are all things that are going to make it seem kind of textured. So if you want to smooth it out, have nicer nails, and maybe protect them, and keep these from chipping because they chip pretty quickly, let's be honest, you can put a little clear coat over that. You're going to want to wait till these have dried for at least a half an hour probably before you do this, because there's many a time that I've gotten impatient, run a clear coat over it, ruined the whole thing. Be patient. You can wait a half an hour. You can do it. So these are the Pokemon fingernails. You've heard my channel and life updates. If you have any questions about the future of this channel or for me in a future Q&A, maybe I'll do that, I don't know. Leave them in the comment section. If you haven't subscribed already, feel free to do that. I will see you guys, not next week, but the week after that, due to my new uploading schedule. I hope to have some interesting stuff for you guys in the future. Cheers, everybody. Catch 'em all.